So we're continuing discussing the big media five, as I'm calling them, the ones who are controlling 90% of the media market in the United States currently, and currently are the world's biggest media companies, according to Forbes. And today we're going to be talking about Comcast, or as you Americans probably say, Comcast. And we're going to be talking about them. The thing that shocked me about them, and I'm just going to go straight for it, is the fact that they own Big Idea. Now, Big Idea did a show that I used to watch as a child, that I used to watch as a child, Veggie Tales, which is like a Christian thing. So to know that this is like who they've bought out is very scary, and I would be very concerned to see what even Veggie Tales of today might look like. I don't know if they still made it. It's been literally so long since I've even heard of that. But in continuing on in the normal format that I've been highlighting and showing you guys, and this is how you observe, this is good observation skills. You just start to notice trends, and I'm noticing the trend that they all have news outlets. So Comcast has NBC, MSNBC, USA Network, but then they also have, your normal TV shows. So they own, Universal Pictures, which Universal is massive. Don't have to explain that one to you. They own part of Hulu. So they're the ones who own part of Hulu, along with, who was it that I mentioned? I think it's AT&T. So guys, I'm getting so confused now. They own part of Hulu with, I can't remember. I'm so sorry, guys. I can't find who it is. Oh, yes, AT&T is AT&T. So they own part of Hulu with AT&T, which again, little inkling, little wink to let us know that they are definitely all working together. But also they own Sci-Fi, they own NHL Network, so again, going down the sports route. And all of these different things. I'm not going to get into all of them because there's loads, but there are loads. That's enough for you guys to just kind of understand where they're coming from. And again, it's just this format that we keep seeing, where they're trying to control different areas of our lives. They're trying to be speaking to us on different levels and hiding in plain sight, really and truly. Because I think a lot of these companies, and I didn't touch on this in the other videos, but a lot of these companies genuinely, like in and of themselves, as they all started, a lot of them started as good companies, like the likes, like I said, of the Big Idea or Sci-Fi or all of these companies. And I don't know the history of every single one of these companies, and I probably won't do it. But what I will say, I'll make an educated hypothesis and say that a lot of them probably started out with good intentions. For example, I talked about on here as well in another video about Facebook, which you can check out. I was talking about how the owner, one of the co-founders of Facebook, actually moved off and created his own other platform called Signal once he discovered that WhatsApp was becoming too involved with all this other craziness with Facebook and everything. And so he went off and did his own thing and kind of stuck with his core values of what he initially wanted and created Signal. I'm definitely going to be using Signal, guys, and I highly recommend that we all try to start learning to shift over to Signal, because I've talked about in another video why I think WhatsApp is not something we should be relying on. But outside of that, it just goes to show that in a lot of these cases, for a lot of these companies, I'm sure when they first started out, they weren't looking at it like, oh, one day we're going to allow ourselves to be bought out. And I'm going to talk about merging in another video, so check that out as well. I don't think they intended for their companies to be used for this, but now, because they've sold their business, because somebody else owns their business now, and now they own it, they can control what's being said. And so whether they use that control, obviously they don't have to. So I'm not saying that they're controlling every single little thing, but they definitely do have that control. And I definitely think that they would use it. And so no matter who or what or whatever we were bought into with these individual companies, maybe we fell in love with one of those particular, like I said, it could be that for me, and this is why I even mentioned Big Idea and the Veggie Tales, because for me, that would have been something I would have been like, oh, the Veggie Tales is awesome. They've got new series out. I'm going to watch them, not knowing that it's owned by Comcast, one of the media big five, and not knowing that, God knows what they're trying to put, what kind of information they're trying to put in there. And there I am thinking I can trust in something. So it's important for us to actually think about these things and know this information, I think, because it gives us back our freedom in our lives. It gives us back the ability to make the decisions we want to make and understand what we want to understand and get the information we need. Because at least, even if it's that we just know that these people can't be trusted, at least we know that we need to be looking elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? I think that's one of the maybe scary things. Maybe one of the scariest things of it is just the fact that we don't really know, do we? We don't know who's owned by what. But if we did, as we are learning, and as you will learn if you watch these videos, don't forget to subscribe. You'll be able to start to see and change your life. Because one thing that I personally can say, and if this is food for thought. I don't really like to give people advice because I don't feel like I'm qualified to do that. I don't even think anyone's qualified. I think only God is qualified and the Holy Spirit is qualified to give advice, and Jesus, of course. But food for thought would be, you know, look into these kinds of things so that you can see how different you feel when you look at like independent news. When you look into independent news outlets, see how different you think and feel when you look into that, because you'll probably find that all of a sudden you're like, oh, why am I feeling so much less stressed? And oh, that makes sense actually, because for what I saw, this all actually finally adds up, you know. And I think that's what the experience that I certainly have and have had. And I also have a much greater sense of peace. You know, the media makes out like, you know, when you find out about stuff, like it's going to be so stressful, but it's actually not, because you just finally understand what's actually going on. And then you're like, oh, okay, cool. So now I know what I need to do for whatever I need to do and move on. And that's why I'm sharing this stuff. So I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Please comment your thoughts down below. I would love to hear what you guys think about all of this craziness. Other than that, please subscribe as well and like the video if you did like it. Don't forget to check out all my other videos, guys, because trust me, you want to check them all out, because there's so much info that there's so many different little bits and bobs. But I tried to keep all the videos relatively short, so if you just wanted to know about one thing, you could just focus on one thing. Other than that, thank you so much for spending the time, your precious time, watching my video. God bless you all, and I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.